The sun cast a warm, golden glow over the historic streets of Lisbon, Portugal. It was one of those perfect summer afternoons where the city seemed alive with its unique rhythm. Tourists' laughter echoed through cobblestone alleys. The aroma of freshly brewed espresso wafted from nearby cafes, and the floral displays adorning quaint balconies painted a vivid portrait of the Portuguese spirit. Today felt like an ordinary day, but it was anything but ordinary for one young boy. Cristiano Ronaldo, dressed casually in a tracksuit and sunglasses, wandered these streets unnoticed, savoring a rare moment of anonymity. Despite being one of the most recognizable faces on the planet, he found solace in walking through his old neighborhoods. These were the same streets that had witnessed his humble beginnings, where a young Ronaldo had spent countless hours chasing a dream bigger than himself. As he walked, soaking in the nostalgia, he heard a sound that stopped him in his tracks. The rhythmic thud of a football striking a wall, followed by the slap of it bouncing back onto the dusty ground. Intrigued, Ronaldo followed the sound. The noise transported him back to his childhood days, practicing tirelessly against any available surface, honing the skills that would one day make him a legend. Rounding the corner, he discovered the source of the sound, a small, dusty patch of land, bordered by a crumbling brick wall, served as an impromptu field. There, a boy no older than 12 was practicing. His form was loose yet determined as he dribbled past and fired shots with remarkable precision. But it wasn't just the boy's talent that caught Ronaldo's attention. It was his circumstances. He wore an old, faded jersey that had clearly seen better days. His sneakers were too big for his small feet, with the soles held together by strips of duct tape. Despite his worn-out appearance, the boy's focus was unshakable as he trained with relentless determination. Ronaldo stood quietly for a moment, observing. There was something about the boy, the way he played, the way he refused to give up on his self-imposed drills. It was familiar, almost like looking into a mirror of his younger self. Finally, Ronaldo stepped forward, clapping his hands to grab the boy's attention. "Impressive moves," he said, his voice carrying an encouraging tone. The boy froze, his wide eyes locking onto the towering figure before him. Cristiano Ronaldo?" he stammered, barely able to speak. Ronaldo smiled warmly and approached the boy. "What's your name?" "Mateus," the boy replied, still trembling from disbelief. "Well, Mateus," Ronaldo said, nodding toward the ball, "you've got talent. Why are you practicing here, all alone?" Mateus hesitated, his gaze dropping to the ball. "I want to be a professional footballer like you, but my family can't afford academy fees," he admitted softly. "So I practice here every day, hoping someone will notice me." Ronaldo felt a pang of recognition. He remembered the struggle, the hunger for a chance, the sleepless nights wondering if he'd ever break through. "No academy? No team?" he asked, pressing further. Mateus shook his head, his shoulders slumping slightly. "The local team said I was good, but they only accept players who can pay, so I just do this." Ronaldo let the boy's words sink in. It was a story he knew all too well, how financial barriers could crush even the most incredible potential. For the next 30 minutes, Cristiano Ronaldo gave Mateus a training session unlike any he had ever experienced. Ronaldo tested the boy's abilities, guiding him through passes, dribbles, and shots. With each challenge, Mateus improved, his confidence growing under the world champion's guidance. The moment was surreal for Mateus. Here he was, playing alongside his idol, the man he had posters of on his bedroom wall. As their impromptu session ended, Ronaldo placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. "You've got real talent," he said. "But talent alone isn't enough. It takes hard work, discipline, and sometimes a little help." Reaching into his bag, Ronaldo pulled out his phone and made a call. After a brief conversation, he turned back to Mateus. "Tomorrow morning, you have a tryout with Sporting CP's Youth Academy," Ronaldo announced. Mateus stared in disbelief, his mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. "Sporting CP?" he exclaimed, barely able to process the words. Ronaldo nodded. "The club where I started my career. Don't worry about the fees, I'll handle them. All I ask is that you work harder than anyone else out there. Deal?" Mateus's eyes filled with tears as he nodded fervently. Deal. After a long pause, Ronaldo smiled and nudged the ball with his foot. All right then, he said. Let's see what you've got. The next morning, Mateus arrived at the Sporting CP training grounds. As promised, everything had been arranged. The coaches, briefed by Ronaldo himself, watched intently as Mateus showcased his talent. By the end of the session, he was offered a spot in the academy. That evening, he called Ronaldo with the news. "Thank you, Mr. Ronaldo," Mateus said, his voice trembling. "You've changed my life." Ronaldo smiled over the phone. "This is just the beginning. Now go make the most of it." A decade later, Mateus stood on the field of one of Europe's biggest clubs. As the crowd roared, he pointed to the stands, where Ronaldo sat in the VIP box watching with pride. Mateus had kept his promise, and the legacy of one chance encounter lived on, proving that even the smallest act of kindness could change someone's world forever.